MetroNews Talkline, we are live at the state capitol at the AARP broadcast location the day after crossover day. We got a lot to get into. Let's do it. MetroNews Talkline's underway.
You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the West Virginia state capitol. It is day 51. 9 days remain in the legislative session. Dave Wilson, TJ Meadows with you. Stephanie Pauley's our on-site video producer. Jake Link handles the controls back at the broadcast suite in Morgantown. If you're watching on the MetroNews Television app, YouTube, or Facebook Live. Kyle Wiggs handling the audio this morning, and we appreciate our great radio affiliates across the state joining us here live from the state capitol. Coming up, House Speaker Roger Hanshaw will join us bottom of the hour. Brad McElhinny will get caught up on what's happening on the day after crossover day, what happened and did not happen yesterday. Amelia Knisley will join us in the second hour as well. You can text us, 304-TALK-304. We'll get to some of your thoughts as the show unfolds. Morning, TJ.
Good morning, sir. How are we today?
It's the day after crossover day. A little more subdued today, maybe a little less tension, but now just 9 days to get all those bills that flipped houses through till sine die on next Saturday.
I have a feeling. I have a belief things will spice up again today. I just do. I don't know why.
Is that because the guy sitting next to you?
Well, no, he and I we can definitely spice up a conversation, but I think sometimes, Dave, you got it in your gut, and you kind of feel like, hey, something's about to happen.
I hope you're wrong.
I know you do.
We want it easy.
The guy sitting next to TJ and joining us here on MetroNews Talkline this morning, Fayette County Senator Brian Helton. Senate Bill 420, West Virginia First Energy Act, passed out of the Senate. The big stipulation in that bill, it requires coal-fired power plants run at 69% capacity all the time. It passed 22-11, now over to the House. Why do we need coal-fired power plants running at 69%? That's a very specific number, by the way.
It is.
69% capacity all the time.
Yeah, so that's what our Public Service Commission has set as a target. They said that is the best number for our coal-fired plants to work at. It's what's best for West Virginia. It's what's best for your utility prices. It's what's best for employment. It's what's best for our economy. When we do that, we'll see utility rates come back down because we've gotten ourselves into a mess here with the PJM dispatchable model that's an out-of-state grid operator that puts West Virginia energy last and puts everybody else's energy first.
How do they do that?
By the way they dispatch out of the grid. So what we're looking at right now, let's use AEP as an example.
Yep.
Okay. AEP can self-generate at $40 a megawatt hour on our coal-fired plants.
Whatever the cost, yep.
Okay. We are buying 10 million megawatt hours, AEP's buying those, from PJM at over $100 a megawatt hour. And we just had an emergency auction ordered by President Trump because PJM has done such a horrible job of providing grid reliability at $325 a megawatt hour. So we can generate at 40. Yet we're a part of a model that buys in at $325. Does that make sense to anyone?
Trump's model, though, and Trump's auction call is about capacity, the ability.
That's correct.
The coal-fired plants that the president has issued orders on to remain open, they still are economically dispatched on the energy side. They're there for capacity purpose.
Well, the issue is that capacity, and that's why we're having these problems having to go to emergency auction because of PJM's rules and their rules of auction. They have discounted coal. They have tried to remove it.
How have they done that?
Again, from 2020 to 2025, 17 gigs of base load power because of PJM rules and because of the way the auction price works. They have removed that from the grid. They have removed that from the capacity, and that's what's caused these reliability problems. Again, TJ, we can generate at 40, but we're buying in at 110. Now listen, here's my theory behind that. That $60 or $70 delta in megawatt hour, that goes back to ratepayers. I bet if it went to AEP shareholders, I bet they'd run those plants. So in other words, we're leaving all this money on the table, 10 million megawatt hours, okay? We could be generating that at $60 less and give that back to the ratepayers and lower their utility rates, but we're choosing not to because the shareholders benefit when they don't run those plants.
PJM predominantly dispatches everyday natural gas resources. It's upward of 50% of the grid. Natural gas is cheaper, plain and simple, than the other resources. Cheaper than nuke, cheaper than coal, cheaper than anything.
That's not correct.
Why is
That's
it not
correct? The reason it clears every day is because so much coal capacity has been removed. Okay, I just explained to you that.
But the market did that.
Well,
right?
we're self-generating. AEP can self-generate at $40 a megawatt hour.
But it's based totally
Okay.
energy prices. You're talking about capacity prices. Again, energy prices are based 95% on the cost of fuel.
Yeah, you're talking micro, I'm talking macro, right? I'm talking about West Virginia years ago when we generated 98% of our electricity from coal.
Yep.
We had some of the most stable rates. And I think we'd both agree.
Coal was in the money then. The same market that is today brought all that coal back to West Virginia, the coal sales.
I think we'd agree coal is the most stable price for producing electricity. Now, we don't have nuclear, but when you just compare, natural gas is a lot more volatile than coal. It's just the way the market works. And again, I'm all for natural gas, but you know what? We don't have any natural gas plants in West Virginia. Yeah, in 5 years. Yeah, you're right. But right now we don't.
Should the bill reflect the fact that we're going to?
The bill does reflect that. The bill does
as load following, not as base load.
Well, again, we're 5 years out, right? So when we get closer to that time, it's mentioned in here that there's no base load that can be retired unless it's replaced by another base load that exists in West Virginia right now.
Talk about these numbers with me. Eric Tarr mentioned them yesterday. I think Takubo brought them up as well. I've seen the numbers. AEP did a study for their system and said if they went back and they had dispatched at 69%, it would have added in about a year $90 million to ratepayers. Who would pay for that?
Well, that's AEP's numbers, right? That's AEP. So there's other numbers out there, and I've got them right here with me from the West Virginia Public Energy Authority.
Okay.
Okay, and those numbers demonstrate that we lost $785 million in terms of a total avoided cost. So as I mentioned earlier, if we self-generate, we're leaving a big delta on the table. So when we generate at 40 and we can sell into the market, and you'll have to agree with me, back in 2021, 2022, sometimes those prices were going at $1,000 a megawatt hour out on the market. So we can generate at 40 and sell for $1,000. That sounds like a pretty good deal to ratepayers to me. Why aren't we doing that? And so from the fact that we're spending more because we're buying energy instead of self-generating energy, and then we're also having an opportunity cost from not being able to sell back into the PJM market, those are huge opportunities lost for ratepayers in our state.
Jump in here if you want.
No, I've got a question, but I want.
I mean,
so you and I aren't going to agree on that. That's fine.
No, but again, I'm using numbers.
And I am too.
From the public PEA, Public Energy Authority. I've got numbers from the PSC. They all say the same thing. It's less expensive to use existing coal-fired plants than it is to use almost any other energy source.
But Charlotte Lane in committee the other day asked you a direct question. She said, Senator, do you want me to run these coal plants even if I can get energy cheaper elsewhere on the grid? And I would agree with her. Unfortunately, I don't like it any more than you do. I want coal to work. But it's price agnostic. It's it's fuel agnostic. So should we do that? Should West Virginians pay higher rates?
The rates are going to go down, TJ. And because history repeats itself, history has demonstrated that. So I've got that on my side 100%. The other thing is the PSC, 69% is their number. Legislation didn't come up with that. The PSC generated that from an independent organization that came at 69%. All the variables in, that's their target. So, and by the way, the bill doesn't mandate that, but the bill incents them in 10% increments to use.
Who's going to pay for that incentive? I have a question about that too. It's going to raise return on investment, return on equity for the utilities. Won't ratepayers have to pay that delta though?
Again, let's go back to what I said earlier. We can self-generate at $60 less than we can buy. But we're buying. AEP is buying energy at $60 more per megawatt hour than they can generate it. Here's the difference, okay? Here's the difference. When they run a rate and we pay our power bill, they get a 9% lift on that.
9% return on equity.
That goes to the shareholders of AEP. When they generate and sell back out into the market, that profit goes to ratepayers. Okay,
100%. So it comes back.
Right.
If it's
So it
net.
lowers our
Yep.
utility rates. So they are not generating with our power plants because they're not incented to do that. Because they are rewarding their shareholders.
What if you're wrong?
Instead of our ratepayers?
What if you're wrong?
These are the numbers. These are numbers that are not only the PSC, the Public Energy Authority, and then also other independent groups both have brought into this, all say the same thing. It's less expensive per megawatt hour to generate
Well, the
coal
gas
here in
industry
West
wouldn't
Virginia.
say that. The gas industry wouldn't agree with you.
Well, but we're not generating gas here in West Virginia.
Why not do this? You and I aren't going to agree. I have my philosophy. You have yours.
Right.
Why not do this? If you're wrong, let the state pay the delta out of the rainy day fund.
Well, the bill already has a provision for that.
Okay, how so?
With the 5% grid stabilization fund. We both know data centers are coming here left and right. I've been privy to a lot of deals that are coming. We're going to have so many megawatts online. It's going to be unbelievable. And we're talking massive.
That'll solve your problem right there.
We're talking massive amounts of money coming in. But I think I've demonstrated here today that, again, when we generate at 40 and buy at 100, that's not a good deal for ratepayers. It's just simply not. Why not take those 10 million megawatt hours, multiply that by 60, okay? We're talking $600-700 million that would go directly back to ratepayers.
Jump in.
Let me jump in here, and let me wrap up here. I have one question. My man knows energy policy. I'll let him do the energy policy. Let me ask you a philosophical question, Brian.
Sure.
You're a conservative Republican, right?
That's correct.
Government overregulation ends up costing customers money, stymies growth, stymies business. Is this government overregulation by mandating a business? This is the rate at which you have to run your operations.
Okay, we are a regulated industry in West Virginia. We'd agree with that.
Sure, yeah.
If you think PJM's free market, then we're not going to be able to agree on almost anything because it's absolutely not a free market. It's a rigged system.
Then let's get out of it.
Well, again, there's 9 governors exploring that. My plan says let's use our generation we have. Let's capitalize on that $600 to $700 million of lift that lowers utility rates. That creates, by the way, 3,500 more jobs, $225 million in economic opportunity here in West Virginia. And let's get our coal communities back up and running. Look, AEP can do this. They can do it. They're choosing not to do it because to do it takes out of their coffers, but to do it gives the ratepayers back these lower rates.
If we get out of a market, though, how are we going to sell excess energy? We don't have a market to sell into if we're not in PJM.
If we were to produce these coal plants, we can sell a lot of energy out of our state right now. We're choosing not to do that. We're leaving it on the sidelines.
What we can all agree on is I have to take commercial breaks. We'll have to leave the conversation there for the moment. Brian, always appreciate you coming over.
Sir.
Good conversation, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you for having me, guys.
Let's take a break. Brad McElhinny joins us next from the ARP broadcast location.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Every day in Virginia, we play for something bigger.
As a mom, I play for her education.
I play because it helps provide care for the ones who care for us.
I play to help keep our parks beautiful.
Why I play? Because every play supports West Virginia's future, our students, our seniors, and our state parks. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery have totaled nearly $13.7 billion. I play. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
West Virginia Natural Gas keeps energy affordable and our state competitive for growth. Producing and using more of our reliable, homegrown energy helps stabilize prices for families and small businesses. Natural gas already supports more than 73,000 West Virginia jobs and generates billions for our economy. Investing in West Virginia natural gas means affordability, growth, and a stronger nation. Natural gas, affordable, reliable, American.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Metro News Midday gives you the news of the day as it's happening.
Yeah, I was going to say we'd get something more important, but probably not.
Honestly, no. We're just doing whatever. We're
probably
spitballing
not.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Brad McElhinny is presented by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARP West Virginia and learn more at aarp.org/WV. Brad, we survived crossover day. Good morning.
Yeah, what's the day after crossover day?
I've termed it a hangover day.
I love it.
That is accurate, and it may be in some cases literally accurate, but it's at least figuratively accurate. It's a little bit soft-toned around here this morning, and I mean, again, I don't want to insult anybody by saying they're not doing anything, but the committee meeting agendas are not that exciting to Toby and Edith back home. However,
there are some murmurs, that we could get some news on the budget today. What are you hearing?
Well, we've all been waiting for that, and that's even if we were not getting murmurs. The House Speaker is inspecting our equipment. Even if we were not getting murmurs, that's a thing that I would have wondered now that the dust has settled from crossover day and just getting stuff from one chamber to another. That budget's been hanging in the air. The House passed it. We could ask the Speaker. I don't know when the House passed it, but the Senate's been in a posture of ready to receive it for a week or more, And, you think, well, what is happening? So there are rumblings that today could be the day in the Senate, and then if that is true, we will see what happens in the House. And I say that because, the Senate began running its budget unusually early, like 2 weeks earlier than normal. And the thought then was, all right, well, they're doing it for a reason, trying to clear the decks. A process reason would be to get it out of the way in case the governor does some line item vetoes, and then you've potentially got 5 days to deal with those. Is that still what's happening? Is that still the timetable goal?
I guess we'll find out this morning if all of the rumors are true.
Well, and the other a subcategory of things we wonder is what's the status of the tax cut.
Yeah.
There was a tax cut bill that we were told would be on the House Finance agenda this morning. It was not. The governor, again, says his administration has done the hard work of identifying a 5% tax cut and wants to work with the legislature to aspire to 10. That's what the Senate passed. Where are they going to land?
Let's do a little cleanup from yesterday, crossover day. What made it through that caught your eye? What did not make it through that caught your eye?
Oh, gosh. Well, I mean, there's a business term called Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals, BHAGs, and there were no BHAGs yesterday. As we said, Rayleigh's Law, which is a bill that comes up every year that's very emotional, that would put a pause on transfers from public school to at least homeschool if there is a CPS investigation. That failed in dramatic fashion. There was a race to try to get it to the point that it potentially could pass, and didn't receive the required number of votes to sort of push it through at the last second. So that was somewhat dramatic. Are people still wondering what happened to machine guns? Did we let that drop? Did we make a big deal of machine guns and then?
Steve Adams tried to answer that question yesterday, and he said his head was about to explode.
Yeah, well, machine guns, you are not. I'm sorry, machine gun enthusiasts, you are not going to be able to buy them in West Virginia. That bill died as a matter of process in the Senate, but I know people were wondering about it. It captured the public imagination. Not going to happen at this point.
I heard that lobby was going to try to run it in Kentucky, so maybe you could go across the border. I don't know.
Can you do that?
I don't think so, but I'll put a false hope out to people.
Maybe if your cabin is in Kentucky, but you're just crossing over. There were other bills. Those who might be enthusiasts of adult cabaret. I know we have those among our listeners. The Senate is trying to ban that, and they passed a bill to do so. Essentially, that's drag shows that they're trying to outlaw, but there's different language to say so. The House did its. Is it West Virginia Teams or Teams West Virginia?
Team West Virginia.
All right.
It's good.
That sounds like the ad to me. That was among the first bills they got over. It was a centerpiece of their jobs and workforce agenda, and so that was one of the main things they did. Can I tell you about Capitol well gossip?
20 seconds.
All of the lobbyists are telling me that they have a 10:30 meeting down with the governor, and they don't really know why. Lobbyists, by their nature, are here to represent and oppose different ideas. So why are they all getting together? If they're lucky, maybe it's just a chance to pet the governor's dog.
Sneak in.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny. Always a pleasure, Brad. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Governor Patrick Morrisey still pushing for that 10% income tax cut.
We need to make sure that when businesses and individuals look at our state, they see that there are great opportunities for them to succeed. So number one, we have to compete with other states.
Morrisey making those comments in Beckley on Wednesday. He says a second reason for an income tax cut is that it would address the affordability question. That bill that passed the Senate is now in possession of the House Finance Committee. Jefferson County Delegate Bill Ridenauer says he toured the State Culture Center this week, and it was a real eye-opener.
I expected, as I think the Speaker did, that we might need some paint, maybe a couple of mops and buckets of water. That place is in serious condition. We're lucky, frankly, that we haven't had catastrophic issues in the facility.
Ridenour, one of 88 delegates to vote in favor Wednesday of a bill that would allow the State Economic Development Authority to issue up to $150 million in revenue bonds to cover the cost of repairing the Culture Center. The most notable bill not to get an up or down vote on crossover day at the legislature is called Rayleigh's bill, focused on protecting abused kids attempted to be moved out of the public school system. Ohio County Delegate Sean Fluharty says that's both disappointing and frustrating. Read more at WVMetroNews.com. You're listening to Metro News, for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Who are the toughest men and women in the area? Miller Lite, Coors Light, Modelo, 84 Lumber, Dutch Miller Auto Group, Huntington Drum, Wilson Welding, Fitness World, Pritchard Lawn Care, All Tech Environmental and Construction, and Pam's present the 38th Annual Tough Man Contest, coming this Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. to the Cam Henderson Center at Marshall University. It's Tough Man this Friday and Saturday at the Cam Henderson Center. Tickets at WVToughman.com or at the Marshall box office.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com to apply. That's WVMetroNews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
4 deaths in West Virginia highway work zones is the momentum behind a bill passed by delegates Wednesday that would increase fines for those caught speeding in those work zones. In some cases, fines would jump to $1,000. Read more at WVMetroNews.com. And one final class will be filled, Class AA, for the girls' high school basketball tournament next week. Those regional co-final games are tonight. The 3 other classes, the brackets are set. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Dave and TJ back at the AARP broadcast location, Upper Rotunda of the West Virginia State Capitol. Texter says 304 Talk 304. Dave and TJ in unison on Team West Virginia is the most wholesome moment of this year's session so far.
Just kind of happened.
We've been around each other too long.
That's a promo.
Too much over there. Hey, yeah, we can run that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Team West Virginia, that was one of the priority bills in the House this session. It got through the House delegates yesterday on crossover day. Joining us is the Speaker of the House Delegates from Clay County, Roger Hanshaw. Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning, guys. Happy day 51.
How do you feel after crossover day?
Not as good as you feel on day 60, but still good. Still good.
Let's start with Team West Virginia. House Bill 4001, since the texter said that was the most wholesome moment of the session so far. Got through the House yesterday.
It did.
We've talked about this bill. I use the baseball analogy. I think it's the home run that drives in all the singles. But what would you tell a skeptical lawmaker about this bill?
Well, we didn't have very many skeptical lawmakers, so let's start there. This bill came out of the House resoundingly, with huge bipartisan majority, and we're happy about that. But to anyone who's looking at the bill for the first time or hearing the concept for the first time, I'd say that every successful business in the world that wants to grow its market share and increase its customer base has a marketing arm that does that on its behalf. Everyone. And Team West Virginia would be our version of that. It would be our professional organization that puts together opportunities inside the state of West Virginia for not only those that we're planning to recruit and attract and hoping to bring to West Virginia, but also those companies that have been here, that are here, that would like to grow and expand and scale, but just need some resources to do that. Sometimes you need a professional face on your organization. You need an entity dedicated exclusively to promoting your entity, your business. In this case, our state. That's Team West Virginia.
Some of the criticisms around this, and I'm not agreeing with them, I'm just repeating them.
Sure.
Have been the government shouldn't pick winners or losers. We shouldn't be spending people's tax money on these kinds of things to bring companies in. I think we've even seen a curtailment, I'll say, of just doing this even outside of Team West Virginia model. What do you say to that criticism?
Yeah, that's not a ridiculous argument. I don't want to dismiss that. But what I will say is that if every other state in America is playing by a particular set of rules to grow its economy, then I cannot, on behalf of the people of West Virginia, voluntarily tie one hand behind our state's back in deference to a set of principles that no longer define the rules by which states operate. I don't want to dismiss those points. In an ideal, where if we were sitting down today to design the way that all 50 states and the United States of America approached economic development, I don't know how we'd design it, but I do know that we don't have that luxury. What we have is a dynamic environment now in which we compete with every state and many foreign countries for job opportunities for our citizens, and I want to be in that game.
I know you want to remain optimistic this gets through the finish line, but if it does not get to the finish line in this session, what does that mean for the overall feel of this session and the Jobs First agenda?
Well, it's just one piece of it, Dave, and that's important. So we did roll out what we called the Jobs First Opportunity Everywhere agenda this year, with several components to it, many of which were the singles that you're describing. But you know what happens if you hit enough singles?
You score
You
a couple
score.
runs.
That's exactly right, and that's where we think this session takes us. We're happy. On behalf of the House of Delegates, we are very happy with our work leading up to crossover day yesterday on day 50. We have sent out of the House of Delegates an agenda designed to grow the economy and diversify the economy and the tax base and the employment opportunities for 1.8 million West Virginians. It's up to our colleagues to decide now what to do with that, but we're happy.
You gave the Senate the opportunity to run this. Team West Virginia. We talked about it when you were here, I don't know, maybe 2 times ago. It didn't run over there. You ran it over here. But frankly, Mr. Speaker, I think it's going to have headwind over there. How can you get your colleagues across the way on board and work with them to get them comfortable with the idea and get this moving?
Well, we gave them the opportunity yesterday, so we've now sent them House Bill 4001. That is a carbon copy of the bill that was pending in the Senate, so it's there for them to take up and continue their consideration on. I understand that they began consideration of it and didn't quite get it finished. I'll just continue to say to our colleagues what I've said to your listeners, that this is the way we continue to grow the economy. Every other state that has followed a similar model has seen extraordinary benefit to it. We need look no further than our neighbors to the west in Ohio for the extraordinary success that they've had recruiting multi-billion-dollar entities to their state. And let me take just a second, if I may, and talk about why that's important. It's not about money. It's not about growing capital for investors. It's not about out-of-state private equity firms making money. It's about creating an opportunity for West Virginia families to stay here. It's about creating a way for local citizens of West Virginia to remain in their communities. It's about a way to let people just live the lives that they want to live here in West Virginia. The way to do that is with a good job.
Numbers from Ohio. These are 2024. Over 19,000 new jobs, 377 projects, $1.6 billion in new payroll, $19 billion in capital investment, all because of Jobs Ohio. I'm not saying we duplicate those numbers. We're West Virginia. They're Ohio. But if there's similar numbers, that's a boon for this state.
Oh, it absolutely is a boon for this state, and that's what we want. That's the goal. That everything that we've tried to achieve this year in our Jobs First Opportunity Everywhere agenda is about that reality, Dave. It's about putting more people on a payroll so that they can make better decisions for themselves.
There is a quiet narrative that I have heard from a few. Governor had a big announcement on a data center last week. You were there.
I was.
Room was packed, and that's great. $4 billion. That's great.
Glad to have it.
Glad to have it. The quiet narrative was, if we have this kind of a deal and we have more in the pipeline, we may not need a mechanism like Team West Virginia. Address that narrative.
Sure. Well, for a long time, we had a lot of deals based on just natural resources in the economy, too, TJ. That was the box into which we put all of our eggs for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
For the lifetime of all three of us, our state put all of its eggs into the basket of the natural resource industries, and it treated us well. But diversification matters, because eventually the bottom of the box falls out, and we just simply can't allow ourselves to forget what's happened in the past. If we forget our history, we repeat it, and our history tells us that when we go all in on a single industry, when we go all in on one segment of the economy, we're vulnerable. That's why the name matters. So Team West Virginia actually stands for technology, energy, aviation, and manufacturing. That name is an acronym. Those are the 4 pillars of the economy that we believe our future rests on, or that we want it to rest on. And the goal of Team West Virginia is to help us grow our economy in a diverse segment of 4 sectors of the economy.
House Speaker Roger Hanshaw is joining us. We're at the AARP broadcast location, Upper Rotunda of the West Virginia State Capitol. Can we have any news on the budget today?
We could. That's in the Senate right now, so we're waiting to see when they decide to act on it. We've passed a budget back to them. We're waiting to see what they do with it. We'll be happy to receive whatever they send us.
Is that going to alter the process if they send it over, and if you would concur, if you guys have agreement? That locks a lot down. So if it costs money moving forward after that, probably not legislation that's going to run past that point. Is that a fair assessment?
It is, but realize that normally is what happens about now anyway.
Yeah.
So this is the time when the legislature finalizes its budget, always has been. We're a little bit early this year, but still this is the time of the year where most major spending decisions have been made, and that we're really negotiating the finer points of what's in the bills passed by the 2 houses. We call it crossover day. Yesterday, day 50, the day that bills are required to be out of each house of introduction. But the reality is that a lot of the discussion points around what's going to become the law happened well in advance of that.
A couple of things that came out of the House yesterday. The school aid formula bill came out of the House. That's been long talked about. But why 3 years? The schools are hurting now. Why wait 3 years?
Well, they are, no doubt about that. And look, I represent some counties that are desperately in need of that reform. The thinking of our education committee was that it was going to take the counties a while to begin to prepare for the personnel transitions that will be precipitated by that change. So we do have some fairly antiquated education personnel laws in West Virginia. I think any honest observer would acknowledge that. And one of the realities is that you have to make decisions almost a year out on any changes that you make under that existing body of law. So right there's 1 year automatically. Then realize we're already into a second of the years. So our committee settled on 3. We'll no doubt have some continued look at that formula over the course of the next couple of years while that gets implemented. But it was a priority for us. It's a priority for me personally. I'm glad we got it out of the House yesterday. It's a conversation that needs to continue.
Senator Amy Grady has talked about, I would call it I guess it would be an interim committee, but maybe like along the lines of a blue ribbon commission or something, to get together and really work this issue in the off season, to be able to come back very early next session or even in a special session to be able to make some changes. Is that something you could get behind?
Well, if the Senate chooses not to act on the bill we sent them yesterday, sure, because it's a priority that needs addressed, no doubt about that. I'm never going to call for a blue ribbon anything because our track record on that's not stellar.
Yeah.
But it's a super important issue that we're talking about. We're talking about an expenditure that exceeds 50% of our general revenue budget for the state of West Virginia. We have to get that right.
Well, I go back to Paul Hardesty famously bringing out 18A, and it's, like the Gutenberg Bible.
Yeah.
You can't go through and undo things that have been done over the course of 100 years in a 60-day period. Maybe it's worth looking at that, preparing for 2027.
Well, that's absolutely right. We took our state has been. We've been digging holes for a very long time, and sometimes the very first thing to do is stop digging the hole and then start filling it back in.
I do want to ask you about Rayleigh's Law. Some procedural motions yesterday. A lot of people, frankly, Mr. Speaker, a lot of people are happy. It doesn't look like that's going to become law. A lot of people are upset that it's not moving on. You have any feelings on that?
Yeah, the House has passed that a couple times before. We actually thought we would receive that bill from the Senate this year, and then at the very literal last minute didn't, so we quickly acted on it yesterday. It's one of those things that the House has passed. It's never passed unanimously. There's always been some heated opinions on both sides of that issue. I expect we've not seen the last of it, though.
Hey, very quickly, because we're running up against the clock, a couple of bills that came out of the House. Also, the child care bill, I think that's the tri-share bill.
It is. Yep,
and
we're happy about that.
Go ahead.
Well, no, period. We're happy about that. The child care has been the #1 ask of our business community now for 3 sessions in a row. We're happy to take a very successful pilot program now statewide.
And you want to get the Culture Center fixed?
We are. We took some members over and had a good tour of that with the secretary earlier in the week. We understand now the gravity of the need there, which I don't think any of us did before. We're quite happy that bonding mechanism passed yesterday. I hope it gets through the Senate very quickly because the needs over there are very real.
Do you ever recite parliamentary procedure in your sleep?
All the time. All the time. The 7 subsidiary motions are postponed indefinitely, primary amendment, refer to committee, postpone indefinitely, limit debate, previous question, lay on the table.
I can envision your wife just slapping you some nights after you say, has every member voted?
That's when she says limit debate.
House Speaker Roger Hanshaw. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Take a break. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the ARP broadcast location.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me this weekend at the 24th Annual Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of shopping, all under one roof. Huge savings on everything outdoors, plus great prizes and seminars. And kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. The state's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show is back this Saturday and Sunday at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The Metro News
When I was
Capital
heavy,
Report,
being on my
brought to you
feet all
by
day
AAR.
seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just going to be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304-TALK. 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK's the phone number. Remember that for tomorrow when we have steam release at 11:33. Let me get a couple of texts in here. Texter says, I'm so bringing the electric glide back. Like, come on. Well, Mega's finally done it. They've turned to the dark side. Let's subsidize all the power plants by making it where I have to pay something that I'm not using. And all I ever hear is free market, free market, free market, free market. That ain't free market, people. Talking about our earlier segment. 304-TALK 304. TJ, you just tore this guy a new one. Typical coal executive. You know your stuff. Little secret, I shipped into Harrison for 3 years. So I know, folks, and nothing has changed then to now. Simply coal power generation is First Energy's highest fuel expenses, says Jim.
Not trying to rip anybody a new one. Just trying to have an honest debate about what is going on. And look, I understand Helton's perspective. We want coal miners to work, and we want to rejuvenate our coal business. I understand that. I'm just not sure that the unintended consequences here aren't going to cost more, and that's what we need to explore. The intent is good. The intent is good.
This texter says, I have to say, Helton made a heck of a lot of sense today, and after hearing y'all debate this several times, I have moved to Helton's position. I think he is right, says the texter. All right, got to take the final break of the hour. We'll tell you what's coming up in hour number 2. There's the Senate Finance Committee chairman. I wonder if he knows anything about the budget.
Watch him go the other way.
Yeah, he's going to go the other direction. This is Talkline for the ARP broadcast location. Back in a moment.
The WVU Medicine Medical and Surgical Weight Loss Center offers a comprehensive surgical program to help you obtain a healthy weight and improve your quality of life. Our nationally recognized bariatrics program has a strong focus on pre-surgery education and long-term weight loss after surgery. We're here to help you every step of the way. Reserve your spot at the next free no-obligation information session by calling 304-293-1728.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
304-TALK 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALKS the phone number. Remember that for tomorrow when we have steam release at 11:33.
President Trump is right. America's electric grid needs to be fixed now.
When you have a grid system in this country that's obsolete and a disaster, it can't produce the electricity. It can't distribute the electricity.
For West Virginia, obsolete means power outages and lost opportunities. That's why more than 6,000 West Virginians signed a petition urging state leaders to support President Trump's call to fix our grid. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
The Mountain East Conference men's and women's basketball tournament returns to Wheeling from March 4th through the 8th. Westbanco Arena will serve as the host of one of the nation's premier basketball leagues, featuring one of the highest scoring conferences in America. Action begins on Wednesday, March the 4th, and concludes on Sunday, when 2 champions will be crowned. For advance tickets, go to westbancoarena.com. Visit mountaineast.org for tournament information. The 2026 Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships, presented by the Health Plan.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Or Monday, Wednesdays, Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $35 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $496 million. So go ahead, play today. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. A couple of texts here before the top of the hour. Hey, what's going on with the school transfer rule bill? That bill to repeal that particular section of state code got out of the House and is now with the Senate. Governor Morrissey appeared on the show Tuesday and was having a presser at 1:30 to make an economic development. I've not seen nor heard anything about it, says the texter. That was regarding Hope Gas up in, well, from here it's over in Mason County.
New pipeline project. There's an article at WVMetroNews.com. $250 million, Dave, I believe.
Good project.
Yep.
Good project. I think Morgan O'Brien was on midday yesterday.
I believe you're correct.
So if you want to check that interview out, we've got it over on the MetroNews Television app, as well as WVMetroNews.com. Coming up, second hour of MetroNews Talkline. Amelia Farrell Knisley will join us on loan from West Virginia Watch. She was keeping track of the child care bill that we talked to Speaker Hanshaw about just a couple of moments ago, as well as a bill that would overhaul the foster care system that made it through the Senate prior to crossover day. She'll get us updated on that. Tom Sussman, WMOV Radio, is floating around the building. He did his show live here this morning over on the other side of the rotunda. We'll get his thoughts, maybe get him to tell a couple of old stories from back in the day.
That'd be
about
great.
Turning off clocks and bills disappearing in desk drawers and all of the above.
I'm sure he's seen a thing or two around here.
He has seen things, no doubt about it. Also, we're going to talk to Darren Grubb about Medicare a little bit later on in the program as well.
Big issue. He's up in D.C., but going to join us. Something we haven't talked much about, but worthy and something that affects a lot of people, so we'll get into it.
So got lots to head your way coming up in the second hour of the program. So go get you a Bear Claw and a cappuccino, maybe a cafe latte if that's your thing. Join us for the second hour of Metro News Talkline. Dave and TJ at the AARP broadcast location at the West Virginia State Capitol on a calm hangover day, if you will. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to get this to catch on before we leave.
Trademark pending.
This is Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30. Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, where we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And so, and Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this. I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school. You did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble. Excuse me. When it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Hour number 2 of MetroNews Talkline. We are live at the state capitol AARP broadcast location in the Upper Rotunda. Back in the studios tomorrow. Steam release tomorrow at 11:33. Your weekly chance to vent and get it all off your chest. Coming up this hour, we're going to talk to Darren Grubb with the Medicaid for the Majority, spokesman for that group. We'll talk about Medicaid issues coming up bottom of the hour. Tom Sussman from WMOV Radio will stop by. We'll get him to tell us back in the story days, get his thoughts on the legislative session to this point. Dave and TJ at the ARP broadcast location. Kyle Wiggs, our audio producer. For our great radio affiliates across the state, Jake Link handles the video back at the broadcast suite, and Stephanie Pauley is our video coordinator on site. On loan from West Virginia Watch is Amelia Farrell Knisley. She's been covering the legislature. She was here till the very bitter end of crossover day yesterday. I suppose you're here till the bitter end of crossover day. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Appreciate you stopping by. A bill that has been years in the making, expanding child care in West Virginia, got through the House yesterday. What does it do?
It does a couple of things. It rolled several child care measures into one, and I would say the biggest thing it does is change how we're reimbursing our child care centers that are serving thousands of kids using a state subsidy. These are for parents who are low-income parents but are working or in school and college, and this provides help for them to use child care. So now we're going to mandate that the Department of Human Services reimburse them for enrollment versus attendance, and why that is important is that kids get sick a lot. We were just talking about.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. And when we are reimbursing them for who's there that day, it doesn't mean the operating costs change for these child care centers. So reimbursing them for enrollment is going to help stabilize their finances. It also expands a tax credit that we give to businesses providing child care for their employers, a couple other things. All of these are with a goal of hopefully stabilizing the child care industry, and I think the long-term goal is hopefully to create more spots. We are short 25,000 child care spots in West Virginia.
25,000. How many centers do you even need to make that up?
I know. And we've lost several hundred child care centers in the last 2 years, and a lot of that has been tied to this instability with the subsidy. I mean, as you know, we are a high poverty state, so many parents take advantage of the subsidy program to be able to afford child care so they can go to work or go to college to hopefully get a job. And so that subsidy has really made a difference for these child care centers. So, you know, it's not that child care is a complex issue that nationwide is struggling. It has struggled even more after COVID. This bill is not a snap your fingers fix all. I think Democrats would tell you they would have liked to seen a lot more money put into it, but it's a start that child care providers are praising this morning. They're very thankful to see it pass.
And it makes sense that it would get through the House this year with that Jobs First agenda, and child care has been something identified by the Chamber of Commerce and businesses that needs to be addressed in West Virginia. So it makes sense this would be the year it finally gets over the hump in the House.
Yes, that's a great point. I mean, the Chamber of Commerce has time and time again tied our abysmal child care rate to our low workforce participation rate. I mean, we have one of the lowest in the country for both men and women. So this is a part of addressing those economical challenges that we're seeing. And to your point, the House has worked on these bills for several years. And Bob Fehrenbacher, who's a Republican from Wood County, he was the lead sponsor. Bob is a business guy. He knows the importance of child care, and so he really pushed these to the finish line this year.
Well, if you haven't, by chance, if you're listening and you've never been in that position where you have to pay child care, I remember those days. It was more than my mortgage, guys.
It is. I mean, I'm in the position of paying for it, and yes, I will confirm that. And there are wait lists, and there are all kinds of complications with it. And I live in the capital city, so if you imagine a parent trying to go to work in Roane County, in our rural counties, it's a real challenge for sure.
You know, we're always looking for part-timers while we're working here at the Capitol. I'm just saying, Amelia.
Ooh, all right.
We can put them to
you
work.
Know, my youngest would ask y'all some tough questions, so I'm
Bring
just
it on.
saying, let's bring her in.
We can have her doing reports from the Capitol.
Yes,
That'd be great.
that would be great.
Amelia Farrell Knisley joining us here on MetroNews Talkline. Over on the Senate side this week, there was a bill that's going to overhaul the foster care system, which is something we've talked a lot about. What does this bill do?
Yes, so this was probably one of the more significant foster care measures we've seen move this session. So this would offload the majority of foster care to a private company. CPS would continue to do the initial investigation and make the determination if a child needs to be removed from a home. Once that child goes into the foster care system, a private company would take it from there. So they would be overseeing this child's case, their court appointments, if they need services like therapy, behavioral services, whatever it might be, reunification with a family member, adoption, it would all be handled with a private company. And something that, I would say two things that stood out to me about this bill, as you all know, I've been covering foster care for several years. This was put together, I don't want to say put together, but we saw from the time a committee considered this to where it went up for a vote was about a week. To me, that seemed really fast for a bill this significant. And the other thing that stood out to me was that it had no fiscal note. We don't know how much it would cost. Florida has privatized their system, their foster care system. It's $25 million. I mean, it's not going to be just a little chunk of money. So for it to pass and us not have any idea what it might cost, I thought was worth noting in my story, which I did.
I want to defer to your expertise, but I'll be honest, I'm torn on this. Because given the issues that we've had with CPS, by and large, history would indicate that a private sector management firm can come in and find efficiencies and not drop balls and have a mechanization process so that those instances don't occur. You would also probably pick up some efficiencies to maybe bring that number down. When you talk about Florida, any idea if their child protective system on the public side had as many problems as ours and how that compares and then how that number would wash out? Because, again, I'm be very honest with you, I'm very torn on this one.
I do understand that because obviously the system we have now is not working.
Yeah.
Right? And so we cannot continue the course that we're on now for the health and safety of our children, but also for our bank accounts, right? Like it's a lot. So as far as the particulars of Florida, I had a week to look at this bill, so I didn't get to deep dive everything, but I will say from what I've gathered, they did not have the significant child foster care issues that we have, nor do they have the poverty level that we have and the substance abuse crisis, and those things are complicated. Nebraska privatized their system and it went horribly. Florida and Ohio have seen some success with it. Nebraska rolled it out and they lost track of children's cases. It got way out of hand fiscally. It went way beyond what they had appropriated dollars for, and then they had to appropriate more money. The governor ended up signing a bill to reverse privatizing it and said this was a horrible decision for our state. So there's success and negatives out there. Every foster care person I work with, sources of mine who are in the system, not children, I mean people providing services, they don't like the bill. I think from my point of view, I'm with you, I understand, maybe there is something to explore here. I am worried about exploring it in a week of the Senate, right? Sure. But it starts in just like 5 or 6 counties, and then it wouldn't go statewide until 2029. So Senator Tom Willis, who sponsored this, feels like it has a long ramp. But, there was no one from the Department of Human Services who testified about the bill. They would be in charge of choosing the person. Were they told? From what I understand, yes. And there has been a common theme this session of the department not being present when bills would affect them. But you're right, I don't know the background of if they know or not, but passing something without hearing from the department who would be in charge of implementing it, not knowing the price of it, it's a big overhaul for our kids, and the safety in the kids needs to be first and foremost.
And knowing the House like we do, not having a fiscal note on that that's not starting off on the right foot on this side of the building.
I would agree with you. Also, the House has been very focused on foster care reform this session. I would say it's probably been their top 3 focus, right? I would say it's jobs, and foster care. And so they kind of have their own idea of what they like to do, and we never heard them discuss privatization. But as you all know, you cannot predict what we'll get through and what will not often, so we'll see if the House takes it up.
If we lock the budget in today, as we're kind of hearing, may come out of the Senate back over to the House. If they concur, get it downstairs in order to get around those line item vetoes. With the budget locked in, it'll make it even harder to get anything done.
But I think what I would love to see lawmakers do in the off season, as I like to say in baseball terms, I think it would be great if they would go to Ohio and Florida and see what's working, and then go to Nebraska and see what's not working. And if they make the determination that this is a step forward for us, let's come back in interims next fall and let's start there instead of doing it in a week. You know, like, I think it's probably worth exploring, but it's something that is going to need some significant research, because foster care is complex and it's a broken system in every state, honestly. I mean, it's sad, right? It's just at its root a sad situation. But we have significant challenges here that other states do not face.
You're at the state capitol. Your common sense and logic will not be tolerated. Come on.
You're right. You know what? You make a good point.
Amelia Farrell Knisley.
They're like, Amelia, are you going to pay for that trip for us to go to Nebraska? I'm not.
That would be money well spent. That would be money well
spent. It's
spent.
an idea. I don't know. I just thought that's just what I was thinking about.
That makes way too much sense to go and look at what's working, what's not working, come back and then tailor it to fit the needs of this particular state. That makes way too much sense.
Well, we'll see. We shall see.
Anything else you're working on today?
Well, I'm watching this budget ping-ponging around, and, you know,
we've heard like 3 different things already this morning.
Same. And, you know, we're at the time of year where personalities start coming out too, so there's a lot going on. But I'm also, after crossover day and with the budget, I'm looking at the things that didn't make it that need funding, and so I'm looking at some of those measures too.
Anything jump out to you from crossover day that did not make it to
Bring
the
Them
finish
Home
line?
Fund, one of the governor's major initiatives, speaking of foster care, to bring children home. I mean, that has been just sidelined. I just grabbed Senator Brian Helton and said, can I please talk to you after Florida Day about bringing them home? He said, absolutely. So kind of want to get a handle on, could we see this put back in? I don't know. We may know by the end of the day whether the governor's going to get one of his biggest priorities this year.
I thought we were going to get a vote on Rayleigh's Law yesterday.
I was nervous that we were not, but yeah, we did not, and I think we'll see a push in the Senate to amend it into something.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. The Senate wants this bill overwhelmingly, from what I understand. So now I don't know if the House will confer on those changes to whatever bill they put it into, if they get an opportunity to, but I can't predict that's what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I think if nothing happens, I think we could see another, I'm not going to say it would be from Senator Garcia, but I feel like we could see another moment of discontentment.
Politics is politics.
It
I hate
is.
to think that way, but does it need to come from Grady so it's a win for one side and not the other?
Maybe. And she's really passionate about this.
Sure
bill.
she is. I'm not taking that away.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's, I thought, I had a session when I saw that Grady, or right when session started, and I saw that Senator Grady put her name on Rayleigh's Law. I kind of assumed it was a done deal this year. This is not the path that I would have predicted for that bill. It's been, definitely an emotional week for many people on both sides of the issue.
She's Amelia Farrell Knisley. You can watch her, or you can read her work at westvirginiawatch.com. Can you watch it there? Do you have a podcast yet?
I do make TikToks,
yes,
but,
you do.
I'd rather you read than watch me.
You can read her work, westvirginiawatch.com. Hey, thanks for stopping by.
Thank
we
you for
appreciate
having me.
And happy, we're calling it Hangover Day.
Whew.
Day 51.
I am not hungover from alcohol, but I am from bills. Truly.
Thanks for specifying. I appreciate it. It's Talkline from the ARP broadcast location. We're back in a moment.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
When I was heavy, being on my feet all day seemed like torture. Makes you feel defeated. I'm just gonna be like this for the rest of my life. But then I thought, I'm done acting like that. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 265 pounds. It's always been my goal to have my own place. I want everyone to feel welcome here. I would never have been able to do all these things before without WVU Medicine.
On the next State of Minds.
I came here to Morgantown, the WVU. I wanted to play football. Tried to walk on, but I was humbled very quickly. So I joined the WVU forestry team. What my father taught me was the importance of hard work and the importance of sweat equity.
Well, things are happening. We are at the state capitol ARP broadcast location. By the way, kind of feels like boat weather today. We might be pushing 80 by the end of the weekend. But it won't be long before it will be boating season. Time to get out on the rivers and lakes, and you're going to regret it if you don't go to LewIndelMarineSales.com right now to check out their entire inventory. Great deals on pontoon and fishing boats. Check out the inventory. LewIndelMarineSales.com. Lew Windle Marine Sales, we sell family fun. So the Senate is taking up the budget as we speak. Jason Barrett said in no uncertain terms, this is the final compromise, and we've actually got a list of some of the changes on this compromise, Mr. Meadows. You've been kind of shuffling through that in the break. What stands out to you?
Yeah, perusing here a document apparently that hit the Senate floor courtesy of Senator Mike Woelfel. We are going to restructure Hope Scholarship funding and allow pre-funding for future years. Now, it looks like, Dave, what that means is in the next fiscal budget, we'll do $100 million in direct funding. We'll push $200 million in surplus section funding to pre-fund future years. We need to break that down more and understand that. Moves more Medicaid funding into base general revenue from what was already there, but no number specifically given. It will maintain a 3% state employee pay raise, but it reconciles agency funding, so there may be some moves among agencies. This caught my eye. Adjusts economic development and higher education funding. Economic development. Is that what the House gets out of this? Is that Team West Virginia and somehow funding that? We'll have to find out. Here's the kicker, guys. This is a big one. Incorporates revenue impacts of a 10% income tax cut. The governor gets what he wants, Dave.
Just passed the Senate 30-3, no discussion, says Jeff Jenkins, who is monitoring that. With all of that in mind, we welcome in Tom Sussman, WMOV Radio. He used to run around here losing bills in his desks and flipping clocks off and whatnot. What do you make of all that, Tom?
It's the legislative process.
Yeah.
This is a great time of year. You get the loggerheads. People are saying things can't work out. The one bill they have to pass is a budget, and the budget pulls it all together. Now, what's really interesting is when I was in the legislature, we never did the budget until after session, so we knew what bills would pass and what would cost money. Then in the Cole, Carmichael, Blair years, they would do the budget, last week. This year, they're going to pass this budget, I would suspect, today or tomorrow. We'll go down to the governor's office. If he line item vetoes it, they're set to override the veto, and that's kind of the plan that a number of the legislators had.
Is that the play here, guys? All right, we're going to pass this budget early. You're going to get your 10%. You're going to get your economic development. But if you mess with it, we're going to totally override.
And there are a lot of lines. Now, this governor, unlike President Trump, can do line item vetoes. Right. He can say, line 405 for T.J. Meadows, I'm sorry, you get nothing. Dave Wilson, we're going to leave you alone. The governor did some of that last year, and some of the members were not happy with it. So I think what you could see is they wanted to get it down. That puts pressure on the administration to say, all right, we're good with this, we're not good with that. And maybe they've come to an agreement on what this is going to look like at the end of the day.
And you still got the 5 days. If something gets off the rails downstairs in the line item, you can still say, nope, and go back to whatever you want to. But that's a big win politically, Tom, for the governor. Are you at all surprised they gave that to him?
I thought for sure it'd be in the 5, 6, 7%. I didn't think he'd get the full 10. But, they're going to, we were kind of talking earlier, they're going to bet on the future. And, had a couple big economic development announcements. I think they think things are going to be good, despite the fact we've lost 1,000 metallurgical coal jobs here in the last how many months. And hopefully there's not a governmental, or rather an economic turn down nationally. I mean, it's nervous. I was in the legislature when we had a $400 million deficit in the early '80s, and that was real money. Now, back then, but I think they're going to take the risk.
I mean, they're betting on the come when it comes to the Hope Scholarship. The number doesn't change; it's still $300 million.
Right.
It's just what bucket it's coming from.
Like Larry Pack pointed out to us a couple of weeks, we will have a whole lot better, at least better guesstimate next year and the year after it's now opened up universal program. We kind of think we know, but Larry Pack says we'll have a better number. Maybe we're able to better define those types of numbers in the future.
And I think you'll see schools begin to open up, like, for example, the Bible school is going to do a high school here in Charleston. Maybe the first year you won't know exactly what that enrollment's going to be, but by the time you get to the second or third year, because it is an entitlement program, there's no cap on the numbers, so this thing will go, and then, the question will be, what does that do to public ed? And they'll have to come back and look at that, too.
Another big change to note, fellas, they gave the governor the LEDA money. Put it back into his budget. The House had put that into the treasurer's office because of everything that happened with holding up LEDA dollars the following year. Whether you call it the old budget digest, whether it's for your fair or festival or whatever, the governor gets to play in that sandbox, and he'll have it again.
Maybe he learned a lesson on that, too.
Well,
the legislature, legislature gives and legislature takes. And it's like, all right, you're going to lose your budget digest money. We're going to give it to the treasurer and not you. So there's a give and take. I mean, that's the neat thing about this process. Now that I'm not lobbying up here and I can come watch it, it's great. I mean, I was a political science major from WVU, so Dr. DeClerico and Hammock and all the stuff they talked to me about, you get to watch it up here, and it's a blast.
What two great guys, DeClerico and Hammock.
Absolutely.
Well, that is not at all what we wanted to talk about, but that's where we ended up today, Tom.
Well, that's the legislative process. Absolutely, we love it.
But things may not be happening at all by the time we're sitting here next
now.
Thursday.
Remember, one time you think you have a compromise, it blows up. So just stay tuned.
House still has to concur with this.
This
just
is
keep in
true.
Mind. All right, we are digesting a budget compromise we think has been reached. It's gotten through the Senate. It heads back over to the House. Hey, Tom, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Tom Sussman, WMOV Radio. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. The American beverage industry is speaking out about West Virginia's new law that would do away with the use of a number of popular food dyes. The legislature passed that law last year, and it was signed by the governor, but was blocked temporarily by pending litigation. The industry leaders say a recent study found that the ban in West Virginia will create a 12% increase in the price of groceries in the Mountain State. A bill dealing with cabaret performances in West Virginia has cleared the Senate ahead of the deadline.
The 60-day legislative session is winding down. Today, number 51 of 60. Now, Wednesday, the Senate passed a bill regulating performances on public property that could be harmful to children. Marion County Senator Joey Garcia says that measure much too broad.
This is so loose that we cannot just pass a bill and expect the judiciary to come up with, for such a broad definition, what this is going to mean, what it means arresting people.
That bill now heads to the House. I'm Mike Nolting for WVMetroNews.com.
The Culture Center's in serious need of repair and upgrades. Delegate Bill Ridenauer said after a tour this week he noticed the problems, part of which is poor codes.
To try and bring that place up to some level of code. Frankly, they're outside of code. And that's one of the things they're going to have to do.
The House advanced a bill that authorized the state EDA to sell up to $150 million in bonds for the work. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
There's a lot of noise out there about the market and the economy, but what's really important to you and your future? I'm Shelley Hustle, a member of Huntington Bank's local wealth team right here in West Virginia. Join us for Money Minutes this Thursday at 3:45 on Hotline as we discuss the most important topics and what they mean for you, your family, and your business. Join us on Thursday for Money Minutes, providing insight into the market and how it will impact us right here at home.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
The Kanawha County Commission has come out in opposition to a proposed rate increase for Mountaineer Gas. The company is seeking a $26.8 million annual revenue increase from the Public Service Commission. That would equate to an 8.4% increase in gas rates for residential customers on average. In a formal letter to the PSC, the commission says residents are experiencing rate hike fatigue from so many recent escalations of their utility costs. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
Back at the AARP broadcast location, Dave and TJ with you, upper rotunda of the West Virginia State Capitol. If you have a child or you know someone who has a child who is a junior in West Virginia, listen up. This is your opportunity to win a full scholarship from the West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. It's the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline to apply is May 3rd. Go to WVMetroNews.com, click the Apply Now button. You can get details and apply. Again, application deadline is May 3rd. We'll get to our guest coming up here in just a second, but I turn to my unpaid, unofficial financial advisor, TJ Meadows. The Senate has passed the compromised version of the budget. It passed 30-3. By the way, I don't know who the one Republican was who said no, but we've got some of the changes here that was in the amended plan. TJ's kind of give us the overview here, a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah, so this is flowing, and it's flowing in real time, and we've yet to talk to either finance chair. But the big issues, I would start with Hope Scholarship, restructuring the Hope Scholarship and pre-funding future years. Now, you go in the back of this document that's being circulated here, and it says new Hope Scholarship funding plus $240 million. Then when you look at what was in the initial, it was something like $300 million. So just how much is that? Is it $300 million? Is it $540 million? We need to dive through that, but they're definitely moving forward with pre-funding a lot of these dollars. The Medicaid numbers are really the same. It's just restructured from surplus dollars into general revenue, but it's net neutral according to the document we have here. So HOPE is the big one, $240 million delta increase in that. Human service increases, $26 million. Higher ed increases, $6 million. Economic development additions, $9 million. Agency adjustments, anywhere from $5 to $10 million. But the word is that the overall Senate version coming back is really restructuring funding rather than dramatically increasing the total budget, and the major pre-funding of the HOPE Scholarship Program and shifting Medicaid from surplus to base.
And it does assume a 10% cut to the personal income tax.
10% cut, which how did they get that other 5? We haven't heard yet.
Yeah. And that would be a huge win for Governor Morrissey if he's able to get the 10% income tax reduction.
Makes you wonder if they got the whole thing from revenue offset estimates.
We'll dive into that. So, again, this is all happening this hour. So now the message goes over to the House. They could concur today, and that could be shipped downstairs for the governor by, I guess, by the end of the day.
However fast the clerks can get the I's dotted, the T's crossed, and get it downstairs.
All right, we'll continue covering that throughout the final half hour of the show, and, of course, they'll have more on Metro News Midday a little bit later on today. Darren Grubb is a spokesman for Medicare Advantage Majority, an organization dedicated to protecting and strengthening the Medicare Advantage program for 34 million American seniors and people with disabilities. He joins us on MetroNews Talkline this morning. Darren, good morning. It's a lot of things happening here at the state capitol today as you join us. We thank you for taking some time.
With you. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell us about this organization, Medicare Advantage Majority, and the Medicare Advantage program itself. What should people know about the program and your organization?
Yeah, so we are, as you mentioned, nonprofit, nonpartisan organization. The 34 million seniors that you mentioned around the country, in West Virginia alone, more than 238,000 of your Medicare-eligible seniors choose the Medicare Advantage program. That's 52% of your senior population, so that's a big number. Our coalition around the country is powered by thousands of local advocates, including Medicare Advantage beneficiaries and caregivers, healthcare providers, community leaders, really the entire caregiving ecosystem. And our position is that Medicare Advantage goes beyond traditional fee-for-service Medicare to provide benefits like dental coverage, hearing coverage, vision coverage, prescription drug coverage, that prescription or Medicare Part D that you hear so much about. And importantly, there's an annual cap on out-of-pocket costs, which is really important for seniors on a fixed income because they can understand what their cap will be and what they can forecast for the year ahead without having to worry about, some medical emergency comes up. They're not going to be out of pocket beyond a certain amount. And so our priority as an organization is to help educate, empower seniors to understand how any public policy changes to Medicare Advantage in Washington, D.C. might impact their well-being and their bottom line. And this is a critical program, as you mentioned, for 35 million seniors around the country. There's a multiplier effect with the caregivers and family members who are impacted, by caring for a senior in their lives. And so there's a wide range of support for this program, particularly beneficiaries and caregivers who take care of them every day.
Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services released its advanced rate notice for Medicare Advantage for 2027. Outline that. Mm-hmm. What are the changes? What impacts are we talking here?
Yeah, so at the beginning of every year, CMS publishes an advanced rate notice that proposes how much the government will invest in the Medicare Advantage plans for the following year. And so this year, CMS proposed a nearly flat advanced rate notice of 0.09% for 2027 Medicare Advantage payment rates. And that is an increase of less than 0.1%. Meanwhile, as you know, healthcare spending has increased significantly in the last 2 years. It increased by 7.2% in 2024. Projections are indicating a 7.1% increase in healthcare spending for 2025. And so with healthcare costs climbing, a 0.09 increase in CMS payments will not keep up with the rise in healthcare costs. And so this is going to leave seniors facing potentially higher costs, fewer benefits, less access to the doctors and the services that they rely on. And so CMS has a public comment period between now and mid-March, or at the end of this month, and then early April they will release their final rate notice, which we are hopeful they will take into account the reality of the situation on the ground for millions and millions of seniors around the country, which is that spending is not keeping up with the rising cost of health care.
Darren Grubb, spokesman for Medicare for the majority. We are a rural state here in West Virginia, Darren, and in a lot of aspects we are an unhealthy state with chronic conditions. What role does Medicare Advantage play in filling the gaps in care in West Virginia?
Yeah, it's a great question. And look, I'm in Texas. We face similar issues, but there are certainly gaps in our healthcare system as a country, but particularly in our more rural and remote communities where healthcare, quite frankly, has been underinvested in for far too long. And so Medicare Advantage can help fill some of those gaps through the comprehensive services that many traditional Medicare plans don't offer. Many Medicare Advantage plans include services like telehealth, prescription drug delivery, preventative care, wellness plans. Those are things that are covered in the Medicare Advantage program that can be really beneficial to those living in rural and remote communities. And so it's a really important program for millions of those around the country.
Darren Grubb, spokesman for the Medicare Advantage majority. Darren, we appreciate the insights this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is Dave and TJ. We're live at the AARP broadcast location in the upper rotunda of the West Virginia State Capitol this morning. The WVU Cancer Institute is transforming cancer care in West Virginia and beyond. The state's top doctors deliver compassionate care and treatment using leading-edge technology and innovative research for patients facing colorectal cancer. From screening and early detection to advanced treatment and survivorship support, we are here for you every step of the way. Call 855-WVU-CARE to learn more. We're back to the AARP broadcast location in a moment. This is Talkline at the State Capitol.
Tens of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
President Trump is right. America's electric grid needs to be fixed now.
When you have a grid system in this country that's obsolete and a disaster, it can't produce the electricity. It can't distribute the electricity.
For West Virginia, obsolete means power outages and lost opportunities. That's why more than 6,000 West Virginians signed a petition urging state leaders to support President Trump's call to fix our grid. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
Welcome back, class of 2011.
Most likely to be a millionaire, didn't quite make it.
Hey, reunion's not over yet.
Over here, millionaire, smile.
Make room, people.
Who is that?
Congratulations to our very own Millionaire for Life.
Never too late, man.
You could win up to $1 million every year with Millionaire for Life. Play in store or online today. West Virginia Lottery. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Pan Am this weekend at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show this Saturday and Sunday in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
MetroNews Talkline continues with the AARP broadcast location. Breaking news this morning, the Senate has passed 30-3 a compromise bill on the state's budget. Now, we've got some notes here, TJ. Just wanted to clarify. These notes were given to us by the Senate Minority Leader Mike Woelfel, his interpretation of the changes in the budget plan, but these are probably pretty close. We're trying to figure out exactly a couple of things. The major points: Hope Scholarship funding is a major expenditure, and what level of personal income tax cut does the bill include? Woelfel's interpretation is it includes a 10% presumption of a 10% tax cut. Does it? Is it 5? We'll get the final numbers as these, but this is all happening here in real time. But things are moving early.
Things are moving, and the big change is it does not put all of Hope up front. Mm-hmm. And the House had that up front. In other words, general revenue, monies you can expect to come in based on the current situation, not betting on surplus revenues that may or may not materialize. So in this revised budget's SB 250, what they're kicking back over to the House, $100 million in direct funding. Again, according to Woelfel's notes here, $200 million in surplus section of the funding to pre-fund future years, and then a budget that still has that 10% assumed personal income tax. Assumed.
It's assumed.
And dig into that. You brought up an excellent point off the air.
We were talking, it assumes a 10%. That doesn't mean there's a 10% included because, as we have said before, it takes legislation to cut the income tax.
Yes.
That bill is with the House Finance Committee right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the leverage on that side. That doesn't mean it's going to be a 10%, but maybe the numbers assume it. Okay, let's play that out, TJ. So maybe you come back at 5, maybe you come back at 7 or 3 or whatever the case may be. The budget could handle a 10%. You don't get it. I guess that money just comes back into
general revenue, surplus. The one thing the House really wanted. They wanted, they didn't want to spend every dollar. When Vernon Criss and the House put that budget together, I think they still had $30 million in unallocated general revenue. That's your contingency for Hancock County schools or whatever happens next without dipping into surplus dollars.
Just trying to figure Well, obviously, we need to get Jason Barrett, House or Senate Finance Committee Chairman, on, and Vernon Chris figure this all out. Who got what in the deal? Because that's the art of the compromise. You're going to get something. I'm going to get something. We're not all going to get what we want. So between the two bodies and the executive, where was the leverage? You want Team West Virginia. We want an income tax cut. I want 10%. How all of that plays into each other to get some of these priorities through to the finish line in the next 9 days.
Yeah, and you're not going to see that in this document that we have, right? It's going to be a total legislative compromise.
We'll see that play out in the committees the next couple of days.
Yes, I'll tell you, if it means getting Team West Virginia through, which I think is absolutely critical to the future of this state, if we have to do a 10% tax cut and that's the deal, sold.
Because you're betting on yourself there, aren't you?
I'm betting on myself. I'm betting on the pipeline. I'm betting on the group of people who have worked hard on this, which includes people like Brad Smith. And I'm betting that the pro formas show a large enough pipeline to make up, even at a net value, a future-looking value, I should say, that $250 million that you're going to give up on that 10% PIT. I'll gamble on myself every time. But that's me.
Interesting. The House is in floor session right now. Looks like they're working on several bills. In fact, they're going over committee schedules as we speak. Where's Brad McElhinny? We still have 9 minutes left in this show.
I think he's probably
trying
locked
in the house.
Figure all of this out on the fly the way we are. But it's laws and sausages and budgets, I guess we should add to that. It's interesting to see how it all comes together. And, again, hope, it's still $300 million. It's just where it's at.
Does it make sense to... Again, I'm thinking about this on the fly. Does it make sense, though, to put a portion of hope into surplus funding? Because we don't know yet. Larry Pack, I go back to what Larry Pack said. We just don't know how many Hope scholars, are they scholars? Hope students they're going to be with the universal expansion. You got a plan. Maybe it's not $300 million, TJ. Maybe it is only $100 million.
You could. I think the other part of this, it reveals and further highlights the fact that the revenue estimates are really a tool.
Yes.
For the governor. And you would not put an obligation, as Tom Sussman said, like Hope. It's an entitlement. You have to pay it. That you've opened it up to people. You would not put that in the surplus dollars unless you had a very, very, very high confidence that those numbers and that revenue were actually going to come in. So, again, it goes back to this narrative. Are these revenue estimates artificially lowered in order to either starve the beast, which I've said before I'm perfectly okay with, and does it add political gamesmanship? But you have to have some certainty that you're going to have that surplus there if you take a major program like this and put it in the rear of the budget.
That's the big news today. We were told early this morning that it could happen, and it has. The Senate has passed. It's what Jason Barrett said in no uncertain terms, the final budget compromise that'll kick back over to the House. We'll wrap things up from the state capitol when we return. This is Talkline from the AARP broadcast location.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org. Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today. Boating season is almost here.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan, we are here for you.
When my shift ends, I hang up my hard hat and head home, proud of the work we're doing here in West Virginia. Natural gas is more than energy. It's jobs, investment, and opportunity across our state. We put safety first and deliver reliable energy families and businesses count on. For families like mine, it means steady work and a stronger future. West Virginia Natural Gas, fueling communities today and building tomorrow.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year
The
off
Metro
right
News
with a new
Capital
ride
Report,
from
brought to you
GMC.
by
Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The Mountain East Conference men's and women's basketball tournament returns to Wheeling from March 4th through the 8th. West Banco Arena will serve as the host of one of the nation's premier basketball leagues, featuring one of the highest scoring conferences in America. Action begins on Wednesday, March the 4th, and concludes on Sunday, when 2 champions will be crowned. For advance tickets, go to westbancoarena.com. Visit mountaineast.org for tournament information. The 2026 Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships, presented by the Health Plan.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Brad McElhinny is back at the ARP broadcast location. The Senate has passed a compromise version of the budget. Brad, give us the 30-second version of what happened.
$5.5 billion in general revenue spending, Hope Scholarship for people outside the public school system. It's about $290 million in financial support, 3% pay raises, and then there is an area of confusion we might need to clear up. What Senate Finance Chairman Barrett said in his remarks was this reflects the governor's 5% tax cut. We've seen elsewhere in writing that that it leaves a gap for potential of 10%, but his remarks were 5.
Did Jason let the cat out of the bag?
Maybe, because Senator Woelfel sent us 10%.
We'll assume it, but we're going to actually give you this one. Did he let the secret out?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I can't keep up. But so the next step is the House will receive it, and I thought that might happen this morning. That was ambitious, but they're going to come back at 4 p.m., and my belief is that it's going to happen then.
Stay tuned. We'll have the latest tomorrow. Brad, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
Talkline on Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.